Hi everyone, I thought I'd just make a quick video as we're wrapping up the month of July, and I wanted to share with you my World Watercolor Month illustrations. And these are based on the prompts from worldwatercolormonth.com, which is put on by the blog doodlewash.com. I'll link those in the description below. And I was one of the artist ambassadors for this year's World Watercolor Month, so I challenged myself to create an illustration for each prompt, and the prompts are supplied by the website. So I'm just going to quickly go over them. Day one was pattern, so I chose to do the pattern of a shell with the Fibonacci sequence. Day two was rush, so I just did a rush as in like an aquatic plant. And I believe day three was turn, so I just drew the turning of a willow leaf. And day four was signal, and so for this I did a firefly and how they sort of signal in the night with their little light up bit. And then I can't exactly remember the order, but basically one of the other prompts was rust, so I did a rusty garden trowel. And then patch, I did a patch of daisies. Study, I did a magnifying glass for implying studying botanical items. And then the page two, feather, I obviously just painted a feather. And this is all done, whoops, that was my cat. This is all done with waterproof ink and just simple watercolor washes, which is called ink and wash or line and wash technique. So trunk, I just did the cross section of a tree trunk. Buried, I did a buried seedling with showing the root system. Huddle, I did a little group of huddled up mushrooms. Scratch, I did a bear claw. And then arch is the arch of a rock formation. I forget where it is in the US that there's these red rock formations. And then spiral, I did the spiral of a fiddlehead fern. Vitamin, I did a rose hip because rose hips are actually higher in vitamin C than even oranges. Fiber, I did a flax flower, as you can get fabric and fibers from this plant. And then plant, I did sort of an illustration of to plant something with little seedlings in the ground. Record, I did some papyrus growing in water, as this plant can be turned into papyrus paper. As many of you know, with Egyptian records were recorded on that. And then widen, this is the illustration for widen, showing a bud and then a widening blooming lotus flower. And then striped, I did a zeborina leaf, which is a house plant. And filter, I actually did a bulrush or cattail because they naturally filter the waters and ecosystems of wetlands. And for week 4, I did a blue heron pulling a fish out of the water for pull. Tidal, I did sort of like a side view of a little tidal pool with a sea anemone. Luminous, I did a little illustration, actually you probably can't see, but I used some of the Daniel Smith shimmer paint. Actually, maybe you can see it a little bit. So implying that this is bioluminescent. This is a ghost plant which grows in my area, or also referred to as Indian pipe. And so it's said in some sources that I researched that it does have a slight bioluminescent quality to it. Then effervescent, I did a goldfish. I have a little goldfish pond out in my backyard, which I love dearly. So the bubbling and fizzing that they sort of blow bubbles as they swim implies that. Global, I did a image of Earth, the globe, with some of the national flowers of areas implied. So China, the plum blossom, golden trumpet flower of Brazil, rose for the US. Dogwood flower is actually just for BC. The maple leaf is for Canada. Protea for South Africa. So on, just a few of those. And then obstacle, I drew a pansy growing out of a crack in the pavement. sweet, I did some honeysuckle. And then moving to our last page, we are on, what is it, July 29th today. So the prompt is serenity. And I actually drew a hosta flower and leaf. Hostas actually stand for love and devotion, but I did it for serenity because I have lots of them in pots in sort of my back sitting area, and to me, and it's by my little pond, they are very serene and represent serenity to me. And so then we just have 2 days left, and I've sketched out my drawings. I haven't inked or paint them yet, but it'll be deck. I have a little deck with some hanging plants and patio lights, and then the last one for the challenge is shell, and I've drawn a moon snail shell. So I hope you enjoyed this quick little overview. I just have these in my handy dandy little watercolor binder. So I just use a single hole punch and punch holes so I can have scrap pieces in here or full pages. So this is a full sheet cut in half. So I cut it in half and then I just draw the circles and punch them out with the holes based on this paper that comes with the binder I bought at Staples. And so I will be doing more projects in this binder because I like to change up the type of paper I use depending on what I paint. And so this allows me to do that. These are very simple, casual paintings, not a lot of detail. So I just use less expensive Dalerowny paper. There's also a nice little pocket in the front and back, so you can keep some scrap pieces of paper in here that you're not sure what to do with yet, or then hole punch them and add them in. And then there's also a plastic sleeve on the front and back, and actually the spine too. So I'm going to do some kind of watercolor painting to make like a title page and put that on there. So yeah, that's it for this video. If you have an idea of what I should do for my title page, leave it in the comments of this video, and I'd love to hear what you think. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I post videos regularly, and I'll be continuing to update you on what's on my desk each month. And next video coming up is going to be my July country diary tour flip through. So I'll see you then.